NUFC Undisputed.
Hello, everyone. Good night, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It's me and the Mighty Win tonight on NUFC Undisputed. I doubt that we're going to get into a shouting match, but you never know. Things might go in a
Never
different.
knew.
You never know. You never know. Welcome, everyone, to NUFC Talk TV. Don't forget, hit the like button. Very important that you do that. Help us out growing the channel. Become a member, subscribe, become a member, enjoy exclusive perks and giveaways and exclusive shows for you. We are working on some making some changes, so stay tuned, and hopefully all of you will continue your membership, but or even upgrade if needed. We got more shows coming your way, a lot of more shows coming your way for members. So stay tuned because a lot of good stuff is coming your way, and also stay tuned on the website nufctalk.tv. It helps you help us out, of course, grow the channel and stay up to date on the latest on the Newcastle United. How's it going, Mighty Win? All good?
It's going exceptionally well,
Exceptional.
considering
Considering that.
the weekend's performance.
Oh, you said we won 12 out of 15. So we
Yeah,
good.
that's still pretty damn good by
So that's good then.
anybody's.
There's no issues. So we just we're doing great.
We're just it's just these games that the games when the Premier League games that can really make a difference, that we seem incapable of cracking,
Yeah.
and that's not a good sign at all. But that's down to the players. That we're gonna come on to it in a minute. But these players who fancy themselves in the Champions League,
Hey, by the way, yeah, we got the Mighty Win. He's a jazz guy. He's a cool guy, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, he's a cool guy. Cool guy. Hit the like button, folks. Come on, please. Don't wait. There it is. Anyways, there we go. Shout out to everybody, Michael NUFC, Arit, Mr. America, everybody out there. Even Gary is on the chat as well. So hit the like button. Well, Newcastle, it looks like Craig Hope is, by the way, we got a lot of stuff from Craig Hope. And also, we're going to do a show tomorrow, 2 p.m., the daily, coming out with
good watch.
a good one tomorrow with between Gary and the Mighty Win about whether our season is on knife edge. Man, oh man, my oh my! I thought it was just a 12 out of 15 games and everything was amazing, wonderful in paradise. But it looks like there is trouble in paradise nonetheless. But
Trouble
don't
in
go
the
on too much
camp.
because you guys are going to do that tomorrow. So stay tuned tomorrow, 2 p.m. Gary and the Mighty Win. But tonight we got another Craig Hope exclusive, I guess you can say. According to him, Newcastle will not allow best players to leave, even if they miss out on Champions League. Also, he's saying that the club is in strong PSR position and will send robust message to rivals, agents, and even own stars. Before we dwell on that, because there's more to come, because he reposted something else about it. Thank you to Davey T for being a member for 5 months. Says evening, life is never dull with NUFC and Mighty Win. There we go. But a special thanks to, I just noticed, by the way, Mighty Max is happy. Hey, Chris, just got my new Jazzy 12-month members badge. And he's got War Nobi for the next 12 months. So there you go.
Well,
And
congratulations.
after him, it should be a lot more. I think Ian Fleming, even Beerwijk, some of some of you.
Yeah, well, that's it. We haven't been going that long, and we're still
Just a member. Yeah, exactly. So actually, I don't even see where's Mighty Max. Yeah, he does have War Nobi there. I think the next one is maybe no, not Kevin King. Kevin King in his second last. I think maybe Peter Beardsley would be the one after that. And so there we go. But congrats, and appreciate everybody that's staying, the keeping your membership. That helps us go move forward and stay afloat in this YouTube
jungle.
shall we say. All right, so that was Craig Hope saying that, and then he reposted something that really caught my attention, almost to the point of making me change the thumbnail. But then I thought, I'm tired. I'm not gonna do
I
that.
can't be bothered.
Exactly. But he says, reposting the post that I said earlier, he says, by Howe's admission, I don't know when Howe admitted this, privately or in public, I don't know. The dressing room was unsettled by the transfer inactivity and perceived slowing of progress. But with off-field announcements due and big summer expected, club want to keep stars and strengthen. To those with Champions League ambition, message is clear. You gotta earn it here. Ooh,
That's the
woo,
one. That was the.
proper.
You've got to earn it here, and I thought
Love it.
that was spot on. By the way,
Love
it was just reiterating what Eddie had said when asked about Isak, probably about a month ago or something. When he says, I've said to Isak, if you want to play in the Champions League, prove you're worthy of the Champions League. Do it week in, week out for us. And I think that's exactly the message we need to be sending to the players.
Well, yeah, I do agree. I do agree to a certain extent. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I do agree with the whole thing. To be fair, I mean, it's give or take, though. I mean, yeah, players can say that, but if you want to attract players, they got to see that this club is actually a serious club.
Yeah,
If
I
not,
agree.
I mean,
And
because if that's the case, then Sheffield United gets to say that. You come here and earn. I mean, it takes two to tango.
it is entirely understandable that our crown jewels, in the light of the last 3 windows, they're entitled to be thinking, hold on, where's this, plan, that the thing that we were sold into when we joined the club? What's happened to that?
Hmm.
Three windows, we've had nothing. So for 3 windows, we have our crown jewels effectively playing with Steve Bruce. Reject is a strong word, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We have not improved the first 11 at all since they were all persuaded to come on board and get on the bandwagon. This is where we're going. Da-de-da-de-da. Tonali, yes. Barnes, yes. You could argue Hall and Livramento as well, in a way. But you're still talking about half a team playing with the rest. And they would be perfectly within their rights to be thinking, how we are, man, but we've got to get one guy in. They're inevitably thinking the same as we are thinking. We should have had a right winger. We should have had.
Well, I don't know that. Do you think the players are walking around saying, "Yeah, man, we need a right wing because there's numpty over here. I'm tired of giving them the ball." I
Well,
mean,
there's the thing as well. What about Jacob?
but so that's why I doubt.
He's finally got his song.
Yeah, but I highly doubt that the players are saying, "Yeah, we need a right wing because this guy is bullocks." And I don't think that. I think that. Well, maybe they might talk amongst
I
themselves.
do think that.
Yeah, but how do you really think that Isak is going to Tonali and says, "Man, we need a right wing right now because this idiot over here." No, they're not saying that.
No, I don't think that for 1 second.
I think they might say that we need to strengthen the squad as general.
Yeah.
I think that could be a conversation.
Yeah. And for what we've done recently, it's not good enough, really.
Well, to be fair,
However, what we have managed to do is tie them all into big, long contracts, which enables us to be in the position right now to turn around and say, yeah, you're not going anywhere, by the way. If you want to do it, you're going to do it here. And I think that's fantastic.
well, I don't necessarily. I mean, look, the contracts. I don't necessarily think that they're staying. Uh, they're they're still able to go, but um, the point here is that the Newcastle are not far away from. I mean, yeah, you got to strengthen the squad, but really, apart from the 11, excluding the right wing, it's a pretty good side. Now you can maybe make it more stronger. Maybe you can get a top goalkeeper, or you can get who else can come a proper right wing. Obviously, that's a main one. But other than that, I think everybody that we got on the pitch is playing over most people. Aside from the center backs, that you can probably definitely upgrade those if needed. But I don't think that we're far away from that. The problem now is though.
Well, that's my belief, but I'm a happy clapper because
No,
that's
no,
exactly
no.
what I believe.
I think that we need to strengthen definitely the bench. But the problem is now that you probably need five really good Premier League players, and you're not going to get them in one window. I mean, you're not.
No,
And now, so
that's
now
why
you're
we should.
behind the eight ball,
That's why we should have been getting one in each.
and now that's why now you're behind the eight ball, and
Yeah,
that's the
exactly.
only concern. Because if you say you try to go out there and get five top Premier League players, I mean, you're going to be first of all. I don't know if you can do that now, and you're going to be behind PSR by the winter window.
Well,
It
again,
depends.
if you go and try and get five, you're expecting probably three of those to play second fiddle and fight for that place with existing first 11 players, and that's not going to be easy. I mean, look, because the only way you do that is the way Chelsea do it or Man City do it with money, and we can't afford the money to be able to say that. I don't know. Let's say Palmer. Let's go stupid and say we're going to go and get Palmer for 100. We've got the money. We're going to get Palmer for 100 million, and he's going to come in and have to fight for his place with Isak and Gordon on the pitch. He's going to say, "Well, no, I'll go somewhere where I'm guaranteed a first team place." And that's the difference between big clubs and where we are right now.
Mm. Well, Tiger has a comment here. Not selling the stars could mean no players coming in the summer. But I don't think.
No, that the one big kind of win that I've taken from the three windows when we haven't sold anybody, when we haven't bought anybody, is that at least we haven't sold anybody. Yeah, we had to sell Anderson, but he would never have got. He wouldn't have been a starter. We had to sell Minty, who probably would have been a starter. But again, given what Murphy's doing right now, is he better than Murphy? He would have been fighting with Murphy, and we got him for coppers anyway. So, in terms of going and buying big name players, they aren't. Uh, what am I? What am I thinking here? What I'm saying is, even if we had all the money in the world,
You're losing the plot, oh man.
It's just who we are, mate. It's just who we are.
if we'd had all the money in the world to bring players in who are going to really absolutely improve our first 11, because I think our first team 11 can take on anybody. Yes, the keeper can be improved. Yes, the centre back can be improved. Yes, the right wing can be improved. Apart from that, we are pretty damn good. And all the people who say we're not, to me, are living in fantasy land. I think we're in a pretty damn good place right now.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, this season,
Which is why I said at the start of the season, with our existing squad, without injuries, and that's the key, because as soon as you start getting injuries and suspensions, then you're relying on the bench to come in.
well, but that's any team. Any team should be prepared for that. You know, what we're going through is not the norm. Is to having a really good 11 and a weak
Well,
bench.
we've had a really good year for injuries this year.
Yeah, but I mean, but you gotta, look, the injury excuse. It's for nobody. I mean, you can say you're still winningless. You're still a mid-table club. You're still, you know what I mean? We got to prepare ourselves if indeed, we get those injuries. Tottenham, I don't know what happened to Tottenham. They're having a lot of injuries this season. Last season we had a lot of injuries, but we still had a weak squad. And when you don't strengthen, you get into this situation that we were in last year, that Tottenham are on now. So you have to strengthen the squad. No matter that can't be. That's not going to be, in my opinion, it's not going to be an excuse that you can tell the fans. Yeah, we had, say next season we have a lot of injuries. That's not going to be a reasonable excuse to tell the fans as to why, I don't know, we're mid-table or whatever. If that indeed happens, because you had 4 and no signings. That's not.
Yeah, but again, that wasn't our fault.
I understand that, but what do you mean not signing players?
Wasn't our fault. We had no money to sign players.
When? What are you talking about? For
We
3 windows, we haven't signed anybody. Why couldn't we sign a player?
Well, if we're going to my accountancy, then we should have been able to sign a player. I
Okay, then.
absolutely agree with you.
So that's that's what's going on, and I mean the fact that I like the idea that Newcastle won't, or according to this report, that Newcastle won't sell their big stars. I mean, but that's a given though. If you tell fans otherwise, I mean, that would just be.
No, I don't think this is Craig Hope pandering to the fans. I think it's a fact. I think.
No, I mean, yeah, but
there's been
I would
decisions
I could
made.
only.
Let's say by Paul Mitchell, and hopefully it's by Paul Mitchell saying, "No, we do not sell any of our best players."
Well,
That's why
I
we've
like
paid
that.
them the money. That's why they're signed up until 2028, 2028 for Isak, 2030 for Gordon. Who we got? J7 2030 as well, I believe, because he's just signed his new contract. Bruno's just signed his new contract, so he'll be 2030 and all. So we've got a lot of them signed up. There's only Tonali really out of who I would call the crown jewels, who isn't, and he was 23, and so he would have been 28 probably. Let's have a quick look.
Well, regardless, he's a great player. So we don't need to get rid of him, especially since he is the reason why we've gotten the results we've gotten this whole season. And so I'm glad that that's what's being reported. Now I've been actually asking for that. That
2028.
I've been advocating for. Even if Newcastle absolutely cannot buy a player, I'm an advocate of not selling. If this is who we got, it is what it is. Because people will say, "Well, you got to sell to be able to spend." I don't care about none of that. If we need to sell one of the 4 or 5 stars that we got, I don't want that. Not at all. Not at all. I'd rather go with this squad and move forward. Now, is that going to be enough? That's the biggest question, but I don't know.
That's it. But all the time, the likes of Sula's getting better. We've got Barnes, who Barnes has never let us down off the bench.
No.
It's when Barnes starts that we have problems. We've got cover left back, right back, centre backs. Obviously, we are short, but just that's the message we need to be sending to these players that performances like we had at Man City on Saturday are just unacceptable. And it's all very well, players going in and screaming and shouting at da-di-da-di-da.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, they were on the pitch. It was them that weren't putting the effort in. It was them that weren't doing the hard yards.
Well, yeah, it was them and also the manager's tactics. So it was all a combination.
Well, I didn't think there was anything wrong with the tactics.
Yeah, there is. See, you got to differentiate. You got to differentiate about tactics, bro. Differentiate this. Players on the pitch or on the lineup is not the same as the tactics. Players on the sheet, that's great. We all agree on the players that went onto the pitch. But we have to disagree with the tactics. The tactics is Murphy is a right back, Tripper is a center back.
No. The problem was that from minute one, we were playing a high press, which resulted in Shea and Byrne being over the halfway line because we're supposed to be doing a high press, but the players that were supposed to be doing the high press weren't on their men at all. They were 10 yards off them.
That's all good and well, but the fact that, again, Murphy was a right back, Tripper was a center back for the first half, the whole game, the whole time during the first half,
because
that is not acceptable whatsoever.
That was the plan.
But that can't be the
plan. When we are out of possession, we go to a back five. But the intention, the original intention, was not to be on the back foot. The original intention for us to be in their faces with Murphy and Hall as wingers.
We can only judge what we saw. What we saw was a club, a team.
No, the
intentions. Intentions. What are you talking about? The intentions.
I'm perfectly happy to agree that when we saw what was happening, when the forward players weren't pressing properly and getting on their men, and we were being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, Eddie should have made changes way before he did. I'm not arguing with that for 1 second.
So there you go. I mean, it's a combination of everything. Let's go with some comments here, because people are having their say. Let me see real quick. And well, Kim Cam is telling you, Mighty Win, we don't have a manager, we have a coach. Ooh, man, shots fired. Shots fired. Jordy Revolution, Chris and Mighty Win, long time, but glad to be back. Well, cheers, mate. Glad you're back. And it's been a long time since we've seen you, so lovely to have you back. Kim Cam, they do not sign anyone for 3 windows and keep talking rubbish. Roger says, have you seen an article on The Athletic about our financials may still be 76 million down? I have not read anything like that, but that is shocking.
I think I've seen most of the.
Actually, I think that would be
athletic stuff, and
I think that would be
anything to say we're 76 million down.
If we had to pay or
76 million up, I've seen, not down.
Well, who's telling the truth? The drunk guy or the sober guy? I don't know. So we should.
Are you insinuating that Roger might be sober?
Roger is always
10 o'clock at night.
He's a sober, moral, prudent citizen of Newcastle upon Tyne. Unlike
he's been out.
Unlike you,
he's been out in the gardeners all night.
Unlike you, but I mean, if we're down 76 million, that is a piss take, man. Then we need to call. We got to call in for a lawyer.
Absolutely impossible for us.
We got to call in for a lawyer because that money is going somewhere. Kim says, not signing anyone for 3 windows. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Not signing anyone for 3 windows does not fit with the story the players had been told.
Correct. That's why I'm saying it would be understandable for the players to be, upset because the story that was sold to them when they signed is
that
not materializing, and we know that.
I agree with that, Davey. The players aren't daft. They know to improve, you have to keep upgrading. No way am I a happy clapper, but I trust this summer we'll spend big. That's fine. You can have that. You can have that trust, that hope. That, you can have that. But at the end of the day, we've had that hope for 3 windows in a row now, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, and it doesn't happen. And then we keep saying it's going to happen the next window. And so, me, I like to just look at the patterns of behavior and just assume from that. But
Look at the tomato sauce.
David T. Spuds, fans welcome the Qatari takeover. Funny, isn't it, that it's okay for one but not the other? Yep. And it's unfortunate because, well, I mean, it's the competition is going to be really fierce now if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm not bothered about competition.
Because other teams, we won't be able to have that freedom that we should have had legally by being able to spend, and now the other teams are looking at the same takeover or similar. More than likely the rules are going to be changed now.
Yeah,
So
but the difference is if the Qataris take over Spurs have already got almost they've got 600,000 commercial revenue at the minute.
600,000.
Yeah, so it might even be 700,000.
Aaron says Kuhn score for or Kun score for Celtic would take him at right wing. Well, certainly been linked with us, so that's something to keep an eye on. Somebody to keep an eye on, certainly. Are we supposed to be celebrating that we are keeping our best players? No, not at all. Not for me. But we're reporting on what's happening. So don't get mad at me. Get mad at whoever's reporting it. And I'm not. I'm not happy at all. I mean, it's not that I'm not happy. I'm just. It's what we should do. It's the same thing when certain people debate me and tell me that Eddie Howe. When I criticize Eddie Howe, they tell me that I need to be happy because Eddie Howe, because he kept us in the league and we stayed. Newcastle stayed in the Premier League instead of being relegated. Duh, Newcastle should be in the Premier League. That's not an achievement
Oh, hang on.
to not get relegated.
And got the Champions League.
It's not. Well, that's an achievement.
And got the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, but that's an achievement. Not staying in the Premier League. To me, Newcastle is way
staying in the Premier League at the time that he took over was a massive achievement.
No, you can say the time that he did it. I'm talking about as a club in itself. As a club, it shouldn't be an achievement for Newcastle not to get relegated. We shouldn't come on every season and say, Newcastle, man, I hope we don't get relegated this season, man. No, that's not what Newcastle is about. So
obviously, we agree with that.
So that's what I'm talking about. That's not an achievement to me,
But that's where we were. That's the point.
Well, that's cool, but I'm not celebrating that. So,
under Mr. Ashley for 40
Kenny, Willock, Shar, Longstaff, Tripper, Lewis, Murphy are going to take us forward. Yeah, I don't think so. Well, some of those names,
they all need to go.
Some of those, Lewis who? Lewis Hall. No, Jamal Lewis? Like who? Yep. What Lewis? Because Jamal Lewis maybe, but Lewis Hall, Lewis Miley certainly are the future. Brent, if Barnes was healthy, I'd start him against Forest.
What, in place of Barnes? In place of Barnes? In place of Gordon?
Maybe. No, well, not Gordon, but I could try that with on the right side, but I look, it's not gonna happen, man.
And what, in place of Murphy, the form he's been in?
But man, get out of here, man. Only a blind could. Only somebody that doesn't.
I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you around the country. Jacob Murphy. There's a new chant coming out. Be there. Guaranteed will be there at the weekend.
Only you'll be singing that. Kim, are we supposed to be celebrating? Oh, yeah, I read that one. Aaron says, sitting off the way we did was inexcusable. We didn't play to our strengths at all. Yeah, but that is, that the tactics is it's about the manager, and Tiger wants to come on. Not today, man. It's undisputed, me and Win. So we gotta keep things the way it is. By the way, we're looking to bring back the fans forum with a lot of people coming on and have their say. So obviously we'll get you in for that one. But we're looking at the time slots, trying to work a way to get back Toon Talk worldwide with the worldwide mags as well. So so stay tuned. Stay tuned. Kenny, the last question I should have put: are these players taking us forward? No. Well, I mean, not the ones that not the majority of the ones you mentioned, but Lewis. I don't know which Lewis. Oh, Jamal Lewis. Oh, Jamal Lewis. Well, yeah. Certainly not. We can all agree on that. These players are not going to take us anywhere. And but the problem now is it's so difficult to get rid of these people, and it's so difficult to sign the same amount leaving, the same amount coming that are quality Premier League players. It's it's damn near
Not
impossible.
now, it's not.
Yeah, it is
But
impossible.
no, most of them are done now.
Yeah, but I'm talking about getting players as well.
18 months ago it was. But right now, they're all done, and they just say bye-bye.
Yeah, we gotta get rid. But if Longstaff doesn't get a club, what are you gonna do? She's got to be in the squad. You can't.
No, you can get
Unfortunately,
rid.
you can't sell her. Not gonna do that, man. Come on, man. They're not going to
Save
do
the
that.
wages.
Gordon will have a face like if he gets moved to the right. Well, I mean, I'm not advocating for Gordon to move. I think he should
No,
be.
I think you were saying Bonds on the right, weren't you?
Yeah, I said Barnes on the right. So Chris, what's with the mustache? Wins hammered. He certainly is. He certainly is. No, it's good, Kim. We were just listen, man. We were just having a conversation, man. No worries at all. I think that the fact that we're not going to sell these main players, is a good thing. But and the fact that some players are not happy with what's been going on, well, hopefully that's going to make something happen. I mean, I just don't know. We don't know simply because we don't know what's going on because we're not communicated what's going on, and that's the issue. We're not communicated. The club is not saying, "Listen, we're looking at options. It's kind of difficult now." No, none of that. So at this point, it's pretty hard to make a judgment on what we could do. We can only say we need players, but is that really going to be feasible even in the summer? We like to hope so, but I don't know. However,
I'll be upset if it's not.
well, you keep saying that.
Again. So no new there.
And Tiger was saying, we don't know who the crown jewels are because the crown jewels could be Wilson, Longstaff, for Eddie Howe. So it's well, I mean, he does have a point. He does have a point.
It doesn't have a point at all, man.
He does have a point because Wilson, every time he comes out about Wilson, is praise, 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 and he's so important for us, blah blah blah. And the guy is just never fit. So it's pointless to keep beating a dead horse. It's pointless. I could agree that with Longstaff, he's kind of taking a back seat on it. But I think Eddie has trust issues on the other end. Like he trusts people too much, and he doesn't let go, even when they're playing rubbish. And so it's just a criticism to a guy that's done things well to a certain extent this season, but he's still up for grabs whether it's a good season for Eddie. We're still up, get to a finals. Yeah, you got to a finals, but that ain't, to me. If we finish the season right now, I'm questioning whether Eddie should be the manager for next season.
Well, despite the fact he's had nothing to spend in 3 windows.
Despite that, because he certainly has a better squad than he did when we qualified for Champions League.
Has he got a better squad now than Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Liverpool? Who else is up there with us right now? Chelsea.
You can put all that stuff. But at the
end
of the day,
well, there's 5. Has he got a better squad than those 5? Has he? Hell,
you can say some yes, some no. We beat those teams.
Who can you say? Hang on. Who can you say?
We beaten those teams. They don't.
Who can you say no about?
Some we have beaten, some we haven't.
We haven't beaten Liverpool. We haven't beaten Man City.
if you actually watch the matches, it's pretty damn close, and it was a battle.
Yeah.
Against
What
Liverpool.
a
Those
fabulous
teams
job he's done
don't.
making it close.
Well, you look at it that way, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm looking at this is the thing, man. You got to stop looking at it of what he's done, and that's why he should be the next manager.
What?
You gotta
Why?
You got to look at, is he good enough to take us to the next level? That is the question.
Well, we'll find out if he gets some players.
No, but you're not going to gamble on that. You can't gamble on that. He needs to prove that he can do. We're going to go play a final. And if he bottles the final like he did last time around, he needs to be sacked.
With what he's done.
No.
Never mind. No. Yes.
No, I'm not.
With the resources that he's had available since he took over, compared to the resources that everybody else has had, he's done a remarkable job. And the sooner people start realizing that, the better.
He's done a good job. However, if he can't make players better, I have an issue with that. If I have an issue with that, he can only
make players better.
He can make players better that are players that nobody knows. Young players, unknown players, like Joe Linton, for example.
£40 million Joe Linton.
How many? But that ain't happening.
Is Isak better now than when he came?
Isak is still the same. A goal scoring machine.
He wasn't a goal scoring machine when he came. He is now.
No. You're lying now. You're lying now.
I'm not lying at all.
So you got a fixation with Eddie Howe. He's made you happy. Perfectly fine.
Whoa. No. I'm not having this. I am not having this.
Not having what?
When we signed Isak, his goal scoring record wasn't in the same league as what it is now.
And
so it never was. Didn't matter where he was.
So what did he tell Isak? What did he tell Isak? Isak, give me the ball. This is what you got to do. Let me dribble. He taught him how to dribble. He taught him how to shoot. He taught him how to be a lethal striker. He taught him that. Come on, man, wake up.
Absolutely. Taught him how to go on the field to play.
He taught Tonali how to play. Tonali probably taught him, put me on the damn pitch before you get sacked. That's probably the lesson he learned from Tonali.
Oh,
come on, man.
Wait a minute.
No. Listen, you got to look at things for what they are. And this is a results business.
If you don't think
this is a results business,
if you don't think that Eddie Howe is one of the best coaches in the game, in the world, at improving.
In the world,
player in the world at improving. Listen, man, anybody can take a group of world class players and mold them into a team.
That's not true either.
And spend as much money as you want.
That's not true either.
Billion here, 700 million there, 800 million there, 900 million there.
False.
It's not false at all.
It is false. The Galacticos had the best players in the history of football. They didn't win a damn thing. PSG signed Messi, Ramos, Donnarumma, everybody else. They didn't win the damn thing. So you need a proper elite manager.
But those elite managers didn't improve the players. The players were already elite. But to go to Real Madrid, they had to be elite in the first place. So that those managers took those elite players and molded them into a winning team. Now, whether Eddie can do that, I don't know. What I do know is that there's nobody better than...
You don't know that? You don't know that, man. You don't know that. How can you say there's nobody better that can do a better job than Howe? You don't know that. You didn't even know.
There's nobody better at improving players.
Yeah, well, that is crazy.
Because he lives for improving players.
Does he?
And that's part of the problem. That's his.
So it is a problem then. So
I'm not saying that's not a problem.
What are you talking about?
I do not know whether if you give Eddie unlimited funds to spend to bring in already world-class players, that he will be able to mold them into a trophy-winning team. I don't know if he will be able to do that. What I do know is that there's nobody better at taking shit players and turning them into good players, and taking good players and turning them into very good players.
What shit player has he turned and made elite? People in the chat, let me know. When you let me know.
I didn't say elite.
Well, elite, really good players where they're top of like Premier League, really wanted players. Who?
Well, we haven't bought any Premier League players.
No. What player has he brought from being rubbish to becoming
I'm not even saying being rubbish. He's taken Anthony Gordon.
Anthony Gordon, what?
From being, Everton fans were glad to see the back of him. And he's turned Anthony Gordon into one of the best left wingers in the country.
They don't. Everton.
He's taken Isak from being a one goal in three games.
I watched La Liga, man. Isak was sought out by Real Madrid.
Shut up. Well, why didn't Real Madrid go and get him?
Newcastle beat them to it. That's perfectly fine.
So you were seriously saying Real Madrid would have signed Isak? Shut up, man.
He was linked with many big clubs in the world, man. He was already being talked about as a good prospect for striker. Eddie Howe didn't invent him. Get out of here, man.
Nobody had heard of Alexander Isak.
Well, you didn't hear because that's your limited knowledge on European football, because you only think about Newcastle, but not me. I watch European football, and he certainly was up there in that name. I can tell you. No, it's the truth. You're fixated. You are in love with Eddie Howe, no matter what he does. Me, on the other end, I really like what Eddie Howe has done, but I am smart enough to sit here and say I don't know that he can take us forward. And if he bottles another final like he bottled the last one, he needs to be sacked, because this sport is about winning trophies. And Newcastle United haven't won a damn trophy in over 70 years, man. And if we're going to be waiting for
under Bobby Robson or under Kevin Keegan, or when by the way they had money to spend, they were breaking the world transfer record, and they still couldn't win anything.
They couldn't win, so they got sacked. So one of Keegan left, the other one got sacked. The same thing with Eddie Howe is going. So what are you talking about? If we don't win, this is about trophies, man. It's about trophies. You know, I'm tired of hearing Newcastle fans say, if you want a trophy, go follow another club. What?
1920 series.
That is stupid.
Season 1920. Alexander Isak, 37 games in La Liga, scored 9 goals with 1 assist. 9-1 in 37 appearances.
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah, Jacob Murphy is a goal scoring and assist.
2021.
Jacob Murphy is a goal scoring machine this year as well.
34-17.
And I'm saying that Jacob Murphy is all of a sudden a top player. He goes.
I'm not saying Jacob Murphy's a top player, but I'm saying he's a damn sight better player now than what he was when Eddie Howe came in.
And I told you, he can do that, Eddie Howe, but he can't do that with elite players. He's not making Isak better. He's not making Tonali better.
I've agreed that with you.
No matter how much,
when you buy elite players, they've already reached the limit.
One thing about a manager that you're not going to be able to change is when they are stubborn and fixated on a certain thing. And you can tell that Eddie Howe has a big flow on being stubborn and fixated on things.
Well, you say that, and all the Eddie Howe say that. I disagree with that.
Doesn't change that. Show me
I think Eddie Howe is one of the most intelligent managers that's out there, and he is willing to learn all of the time. And he's not stubborn at all.
He's not stubborn.
No.
So why was Tonali not playing when he clearly was a better player than Longstaff? Because he has to wait until he knows.
Because he didn't think he was ready.
No, bollocks, man.
And once he did think he was ready, he came in and he was fucking sensational. Same with Lewis Hall. He wasn't ready. When he brought him in, he was ready, and he was sensational.
So let me ask you this, though. So let me ask you this. Perfect. So if we bottle the final like we did last time and finish, I don't know, 6, he should continue to be in for the next season.
No. If we don't,
I'll ask you a simple question, bro. Answer that.
No. If we don't qualify for Europe this season, he's got to go.
Why? Why would you sack him after he's done all these great things that you said?
Because, as I said before, a ball was kicked at the start of the season. The current squad, this was after the transfer window. Even with our current squad, with the exception of, millions of injuries, that squad should be capable of getting Champions League.
So we agree then. What's the issue? Because I say this: if we bottle the final,
what the issue is.
If I'm saying, if
I'm just sick of people trying to turn around and say that Eddie Howe's a shit coach.
I never say he's shit. So you got to argue with what I'm saying. I never say he's shit. I say he's a good manager, but he might not be what Newcastle needs next season. He might not.
I agree with that. I've just said to you, if I'm not personally sure that if you gave Eddie Howe,
I just think the way we're
£800 million to spend and give him a squad of world-class players, already the finished product, 15, 16 finished quality players, can he mould them tactically into a trophy-winning team? I don't know that he can do that. I've got no idea that he can do that.
But you, so the thing is though,
but he hasn't had that he hadn't had that opportunity yet.
So then again, if you're saying he hasn't gotten that opportunity, so then you're saying, you're contradicting yourself. You're saying that if we don't finish in Europe and we bottle the final, then that means he needs to stay another season until or future seasons until we give him enough players so he can work.
No. I'm
well, what are you saying then?
How many times am I saying it categorically? If we don't get Europe this season, Eddie's got to go. How many times have I got to say that?
Well, I agree with 100%. Now, whether he can be Pep Guardiola,
what are you talking about? I've said that from the start of the season.
Because you want to go on what hopefully he can become. I don't hope nothing, man. I hope nothing. I just know that I need to make an assessment on what's happened. And if we lose a final to Liverpool,
that's exactly what I'm doing.
He more than likely, I will be leaning on the Eddie Howe out because
if we don't get Europe this season, by whatever means, I am Eddie Howe out. I've said that. I said that at the start of the season.
So we agree then. We have nothing to argue about.
So what's your problem?
My point is, you fall in love with this guy. And you hope and dream that might happen.
I do. That's absolutely true. I want him to be because of what he's done hitherto. I want him to be the man to take us forward. Yes. Do I know that he's going to be that man? No, I don't.
When people say,
do I hope he's going to be that man? Yes, I do.
I don't hope anything. I just hope we win a trophy as a team. Names and stuff like that, they come and go. I'm talking about Newcastle United. That's what I am a fan of. I'm not a fan of a certain individual. I'm not a fan, and maybe that's contradictory to how I became a Newcastle fan. Or anybody loves Alan Shearer, etc. That's perfect. Certain and only a few individuals can do that with people. But with a guy that's been here for such a short amount of time, I wish him the best while he's in the club, and that's that. But if I have to assess whether he's going to be a manager for next season or not, then I got to look at the paperwork. I got to look at what's happened with a cold heart and cold blooded.
Well, so look at what's happened since Eddie Howe took over here. Look what's happened, and you tell me that he has done anything wrong.
My main anything wrong?
Yeah, listen. I'm not talking about making occasional wrong decisions. No, but I've criticised them as well.
But it's not
overall. First of all, the man has got an exemplary record at Newcastle United.
No. Hold on. You know damn well that it's not an occasional thing. He has game management issues. You know that.
Yes, I agree.
And that is not something occasional. That happens more often than not.
You've
Where
just said
when
it's
he has
occasional because it is occasional.
no, it isn't though. When he has to manage a game, he is very limited, man. He is very limited.
So when he managed the game against Arsenal, home and away,
One, you're going to mention a small amount of games. They're important games, but at the end of the day,
right?
he still has that issue going forward.
By that very definition, it's occasional.
Nah. More often than not, he gets it wrong with in-game management. He's starting to get right the starting lineup because, quite honestly,
So hang on.
the starting
More
lineup.
often than not, he gets it wrong. I've never heard such a load of rubbish in my life.
What are you talking about?
More often than not,
you know what in-game management? Do you have an issue on identifying what?
More often than not, he gets it right.
You said that tactical. You confused it with the players that come on the pitch. That has nothing to do with that. The names are right, and quite honestly, it's kind of hard to get the names wrong because the starting 11 is the starting 11.
Because that's what he's got. That's the hand he's got to play.
Well, his in-game management. Have you been happy with that all season? Stop lying to yourself, man. We can go show by show, and instant match reaction by instant match reaction, and see what you have to say every time.
Right, and let's go 9 on the trot.
Come on, man. Come on.
Let's go 9 on the trot.
You know, here's an issue. I don't get blinded by a simple result.
I don't get blinded either.
The way we perform.
I've called him out. I've called him out on occasion. On occasional occasions. When he's got it wrong, 9 times out of 10 he gets it right.
He doesn't, man.
Yes, he does.
Stop lying, man. Stop lying.
I'm not lying.
No. You can't lie like that. You can't, because we've seen you get pissed off here and talk about
absolutely.
Because more often than not, he gets his in-game management wrong. You know what in-game management means? When you have to manage a game and you have to make a sub, you have to move players around. He doesn't do the right thing. Plain and simple.
When you win games from being behind and all that sort of thing, which we've done more this season than we've ever done any other season.
Look, I'm telling you this.
You're not telling me nothing. You're telling me nothing, right?
I wish somebody, if we have a video editor out there, please, they're public out there, do the instant match reactions for every game. Do a compilation of his takes after every game. And let's see how many games, often than not, he is complaining about what Eddie Howe has done.
Listen, I'm not disputing that.
No. More often than not, you've been complaining.
Not more often than not at all.
Yeah, come on, man. And by the way, Brent, great point, man. Yeah, but that's not a badge of honor, winning from coming from behind.
The problem with Eddie,
a lot of those games, Tonali was benched. Can you believe it?
The problem with Eddie is winning the games that matter, and that's my problem with Eddie, because he seems incapable of winning the must-win games, which I've said on numerous occasions.
Jim Stasher, get a hold of me. I need a video editor, man. We need you. Get a hold of me. Send me an email. You got my email. You sent me an email the other time. So send me an email. Listen, and these are easy anyway. You just got to clip the videos, man. Here's the thing. It's about I want to win a trophy. That's what trophies.
Oh, and I do.
It's what everybody is about. That's what a club. That's what a fan is about.
Winning trophies. Tell me I do.
No. I'm not saying. I didn't say anything. Now you feel you have guilty on your mind. That's your issue, not mine. I never said you don't. However, or what I'm trying to say is that is the objective, man. And if he can't do it,
get away.
Yeah, get away.
I didn't realize that.
Well, now that you realize it,
I had no idea that the objective of football was to win.
Well, now I just let you know. So now that you realize that,
if he bottles my thigh,
if he bottles the second final for Newcastle United, that's not a badge of honor, mate. It isn't.
Against the current best team in the world.
No. Man, get out of here with that, man. You know what bottle means, Mighty Win? We need to get you some English lessons, man. Urban English lessons. Because you know what bottle means. That means you have something and you absolutely make every damn move to just throw it away, give it away. That's bottling. I'm not saying that if Liverpool brings their A game and they beat us the right way, then I'll shake your hand. I'll shake your hand and say, Liverpool, you did great. You
not
did
what.
great, Liverpool. If they beat us
That's
the right way, you did great. Now, if Eddie Howe
that's
says,
not bottle at
if
all.
Eddie Howe makes moves that just go against us in the game, like putting Murphy as a right back and Trippier as a center back five, if he does
Correct.
that, then he needs sacked because now he has bottled 2 finals. You want to talk? We didn't have the channel when we played against Man United, but I was
What
livid that final
what did I
because we
say
came to
half
that
an
league.
hour ago? If
What?
we don't get Europe this season, Eddie needs to go.
There you go. So we agree then. I don't know why you're yelling at me, or I'm yelling at you. I don't
Because
know
you're
what this is.
talking rubbish,
No,
man.
no, I'm not talking rubbish. I don't fall in love with.
If we get beat in the Carabao Cup final against the best team in the world right now, that in itself is not a sackable offence.
Well, then we totally disagree then.
What? So you think we should just
Because finals matter.
you think we're going to
Finals matter.
turn up at Liverpool
Finals
and turn
matter.
up at Wembley and beat Liverpool?
Finals matter. Finals
Of
matter.
course, finals
Winning a
matter.
trophy or not winning a trophy matters. People have been sacked for less. The great Mourinho has been sacked for qualifying his team to a final and then not even making it, and he got sacked. So football is a brutal sport, man. That's why people get paid a lot of money because it's a brutal profession. And Mr. Ian here says Klopp lost his first 3 finals, so Liverpool should have sacked him then, Chris. Maybe they had a reason to, but they didn't, so he won. I guarantee you a lot of Liverpool fans wanted him out. And by the way, let's stop doing that to poor Eddie, man. Let's stop comparing him to elite managers because we don't do him a favor by doing that. It's like saying people like you actually saying that Pep needs to be sacked because of the season he's having this season. Are you kidding me? He's the greatest manager Man City have ever and will ever see in their lifetime. Winning Champions Leagues, Premier League, cups and cups after cups, and he has one horrible season. Horrible, by the way, in the same spot that we were on. 5th. Now they're above us. And we people can utter the words of sacking Pep. That is delusional. Mr. I've actually argued that Kevin Keegan is the best manager we ever had, along with Bobby Robson. But I probably lean towards Keegan a little bit. But Bobby Robson, as far as the world of football, is probably the greatest. But they've told me, but they won nothing. Eddie Howe can win something. Eddie Howe hasn't won nothing yet. And if he bottles another final, I'm going to have an issue with that. That's just me, though. That's just me. I'm going to have an issue with that. Because finals, that's when that's when you see what a manager is capable of doing. And if he wins...
Regardless of who you're playing.
What are you talking about, man? We have, every time we played against Liverpool, it's been a really close... Go watch. That's what
what a job Eddie Howe has done to ensure that is the case.
I implore you to stay off the beer and go watch other podcasts or other shows. They don't want to play with us. Every time they talk about Newcastle, Newcastle's a tough team. It's going to be a tough match. Every time.
And why?
So watch them and how they... they refer it to us in the way they do. They fear us. Thank you, Ian Fleming. Hi, Chris and Derek. Love the friendly debate. Cheers, Ned. Cheers. Oh, by the way, we actually had another one with Sam, I think. Apologies, Sam. We didn't get to. He says, in my honest opinion, the depth is our biggest problem. Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Of course it is.
So, what Ian says, Joe Harvey is our best manager. Every so-called fan knows that. Well,
of course, because he won something.
That's fine, but I can have my damn opinion, just like you can, Ian. So, that doesn't make me less of a fan or not. So, Amrit here says, we have too many fans wanting us to win everything too quickly. It's not too quickly, man. What are you talking about too quickly? We waited 70 years. What the hell are you talking about too quickly? 70 years is too quickly. We waited long enough, don't you think? We waited a minute.
We are where we are now, following 14 years of stagnation.
Yeah, that's fine, and that's not a good thing. That it's not a good thing at all. What Mike Ashley did,
No, but you're turning all this on Eddie Howe.
no, I didn't.
You're turning 70 years on Eddie Howe.
No,
it's
I'm
nonsense, man.
I'm saying the manager that comes on needs to perform because we are in dire need
And
of
he's
trophy.
performing.
Well, we don't know yet. He's doing the right thing. I agree with you. We will know if he deserves another season or to move forward, depending on what happens in the final. And I'm telling you,
No. Forget the final.
No. You can't do that. You can't say you want a trophy and say forget the finals. You can't say that. It makes no sense.
No, what you are saying makes no sense.
Well,
you are saying that if Newcastle get beat off Liverpool in the final, then that should be Eddie out. Even though Liverpool
I just told you.
Widely acknowledged right now.
I just told you it depends on how we lose the final if we lose it.
As the best team in the world, bar none, including your beloved Real Madrid.
I just told you it depends on how we lose the final. It's not even about winning it or not. See, that's why you gotta, again, get off the drink and listen.
Hey man, forget about the drink. Forget about the drink. You've already listen. We'll clip this show. You've said if he gets beaten, if he loses another final, he should be sacked.
I told you if he bottles a final, it depends on how he loses the final. If we go out there and give it our all, if we play like we can play and we still lose the final, then I'll shake his hand and tell him it was a great performance.
Right.
And we'll try to.
But then he should still be sacked.
No, I didn't say that. I said I'll shake his hand and tell him.
That's exactly what you said. You said if he loses another final, he should be sacked.
No. That's not what I said. It
That's
depends
exactly
on how we lose
what
the final.
you said.
But if we lose a final, I said this earlier. If we lose a final, funnying around like he did against Man City, then he needs to be sacked. But if it's a different performance and we're in the fight and we're giving it to Liverpool and we still for some reason lose the final, then I'll shake his hand and we'll try it again next season. Well, it depends, by the way, if we finish in Europe. We'll have to assess that as well. It depends on what happens on the FA Cup. So, Ronald Turnbull, I'm not a Howe hater, and I'm not always moaning. I'm here to do a job because I take this serious. I don't come here to wave the black and white flag and just BS about. I'm here to talk about what's happening seriously with the club, uncensored. We don't have any agenda. Everybody can say whatever they want. We don't have any agenda to. Everybody has their opinion and everything.
Undisputed.
And this is why this is an undisputed show. So perfectly simple. And by the way, that criticism goes beyond Howe as well. It could go to PIF because at this point, I might agree with Steve Wraith when he said that they are just a landlord that's watching everything from the outside, just paying the bills, etc. So I don't know because so far right now we have not gotten any signings, which I've criticized, by the way. And I've also criticized Ronald Turnbull. I've criticized Paul Mitchell for staying muted, and I've defended Eddie Howe when he shouldn't be answering PSR questions or stadium questions or signing questions. So I keep myself objective and neutral. I don't do the fanatism that other people want to do. One to my left, your right. That everything is perfect. No, I don't do that. I criticize things as how I see them.
You just won cake today.
No, well, let me tell you something. We should have proposed, man. You would have been destroyed anyway. So I wouldn't do that. By the way, I wouldn't do that to you. We should have put up a poll and see who's right. You would have been destroyed. Ronald Turnbull, the players not Eddie lost on Saturday. They all gave up nothing. How could do it? No, but see, that's the problem though. Because I agree with you that the players were shit. But the fact that you're saying nothing how could do, that is shit as well.
That is, I agree with that.
Come on, man.
The players were, they were an embarrassment.
We need to beat them.
But Eddie also, I gave Eddie 0.
Exactly. That's why we need compilation of everything because you're going to be losing, man. We need a compilation because after every match, you're seething. Not after every match, but
not after every match. After the occasional match, and it happens to be after the matches which matter.
Well, which is actually more sackable than not. What are you talking about? When we're supposed to win, listen, man. Football, you're gonna win, lose or draw, perfect. And in the final, you're gonna either lose or win. I'm not saying that Eddie Howe needs to win every game or every trophy or anything because it's impossible. But my issue with him is in-game management and making moves that make no sense to the average
Well,
Joe.
I've
And if that cost us cups,
I
he
completely
needs to
agree
go.
with that.
If that makes us, if that,
That's things that his in-game management. Like I said again before the ball was kicked, I said I want him to get three things right this season: team selection in the first place, which essentially was leaving bloody Longstaff out the team. In-game management and substitutions. And in the big games, he doesn't get those early enough or correct enough, or he does everything in those circumstances. I agree with you. He gets that wrong, which is why I've said, and I've said it again tonight, if we don't get Europe this season, by whatever means, he's got to go.
yeah.
And I've said that.
Yeah. So, like I
But
said,
you've still got to accept what a job he's done with the resources that he's been handed, with the tools he's had available.
yeah,
You know,
but you also have to,
last season with
yeah.
for the finished 7th last season with the injuries that we had was absolutely outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
And again, as far as improving players is concerned, brilliant. But what can he do if he's got already players at the top level? That's what we need to see, and that's what I'm very skeptical about that.
Yeah. And well, listen, man. JJ here saying, JJ, this is pub banter. Different opinions among friends. Keep up the good work. This is what makes football interesting. But exactly, you know, there's nothing. And by the way, this never changes whether we're on camera or off camera. Me and Win are always going off because he's wrong and I'm right. So you know, we're gonna clash every time. So we're always gonna be bantering and disagreeing. So you know,
I've kept really quiet,
there we
but I'll
go.
tell you something. He went down in my estimation when he said that. We have not resorted to that, but I'll tell you, you can tell him now, be watching it, we're still fighting for this title, and he's got to go to Middlesbrough and get something. And I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
There you go. That's
And
what
you're saying he's a better manager. You're saying he's a better manager than Eddie Howe, and yet he had the biggest transfer budget ever in the Premiership and broke the world transfer record,
saying,
and still won sod all. I love this, and I love Kevin.
So okay then. So that's the way you think. Perfect. So now you're saying that Howe is better than Pep Guardiola or Ancelotti.
No,
or,
I'm saying Pep.
or Klopp.
I'm saying Howe is better than
Yes or no?
Keegan and
Is he,
Robson.
so is he not better than Pep then? Because Pep got to spend whatever money he wants.
I don't know if he's better than Pep yet.
Oh, come on, man! Are you kidding me? This is crazy. I don't understand this.
How did Pep?
Why is this so hard?
How did Pep get a result on Saturday?
Why
he went out and spent 150 million pounds?
Because he spanked Howe like a he spanked them, and he spanked all of us, to be fair. And
because he was able to spend 150 million to improve his squad, Eddie never got a penny.
That's the issue, man. That with you just can't simply answer an honest question. You could just say Pep Guardiola is a better manager than House, plain and simple. But you don't say that. You say, "Well, I don't know whether he's better than that." Come on, man.
His record right now says he is.
No, his record right now, he is, man. Stop trying to sugarcoat it. I don't understand that, man. Come on, man. Listen. Howe is who he is, brother. We don't know if
It's just who we are, mate. It's just who
We
we are.
don't know. We don't know if he's going to become elite. I don't know that. But right now, Pep is better, man. Why do we have to why do we have to argue over the simplest things, man? You know, it's
I've just
Ian.
said Pep right now is better.
Ian, who
His
disagrees with
record
me,
is better.
Ian, who disagrees with me on this whole debate, says Keegan didn't have the biggest transfer budget ever.
Yes, he did.
When
At the
don't talk about.
time, Newcastle were 2 seasons on the trot. Newcastle were the biggest spenders in the transfer market, bar none, and that includes Man United.
Anyways, let's. I'm still, as far as Eddie and the manager, obviously, we will see and judge at the end of the season. I'm sure we'll have a show, but I'm not blindly saying he needs to stay because he saved us from relegation.
I am blindly saying he needs to go if we don't get Europe.
Boki, one manager to prove you wrong. Win Ten Hag. Well, Ten Hag did win. I mean, you tell, and that is, by the way, rubbish.
Well,
team.
look. Who would Man U be better off with right now?
But by the way, that's the difference in standards. As much as we like to say we hate Man United, standards are different. Standards are different, man, because it's about winning or not. And the guy won. And by the way, that's most big clubs.
That's what I'm saying. He won a trophy 2 seasons on the trot.
Exactly, and he got
more than Arteta's done.
But so that's something to think about, because if it was with us, if Ten Hag came to us and we won 2 trophies, he would. You would have got him tattooed.
He'd have a statue for me.
So it's
damn right he would.
Different standards. Waldo, how improves energy levels? Not sure tactically. I agree. Boki, no win. Eddie gets it wrong all the time with subs when we are losing. Well, he certainly does.
This
certainly does.
The point is, Eddie is learning.
No.
This season,
how can I want to annihilate you right now.
This season, we have got more points, Premier League points, from losing positions than ever in anybody's history.
Man, look, man, I just don't know how you get this. This is new.
I'm just saying, he's saying that, especially from losing positions. I'm saying this season we've had more points from losing positions than we've ever had.
The fact that you're saying he is learning, and that is something that you're okay with. Somebody just learning on the job.
I am okay with that. Yes.
No, we need somebody that. What are you talking about, man? We don't need somebody that's learning how to do a job. We need a manager that knows how to do his job.
Well, if we can pay that manager and give him £1 billion worth of players that he can work with, fine. But we can't.
Well, you need to agree with you need to make sure you agree with yourself, because can we spend or can we not? Because you advocate that we got all the money in the world, and now you're saying we don't. But we still don't know what you're saying. Then
I want to know where the money's gone. If we haven't got it to spend, but I'm saying we should have had it to spend in all of the last windows.
Well, sorry, Warcraft says we got to the final. I'm more than happy with that. Obviously, I want the team to win it, but I think of how far we've come since Howe joined us. Give him another season with some fresh blood on board.
No,
Howe says 70 years aren't
70 years are not Howe's fault.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing about that, because you can look at it multiple ways. Well, I haven't been alive 70 years, but the fact of the matter is, my whole entire life, we haven't won a damn thing. So me as a fan, I'm coming from, I have not won anything, and people that are old at least can say we won once upon a time. Me, it's all been rubbish since I was born.
Huh?
So how about we? I think I've waited long enough.
It's a canny bit better now than it ever was, isn't it?
Oh, surely, but again, I'm not even just. I told you, if we lose, if there's a right way to lose, if we lose with a fight, I'm not gonna have an issue.
Well, you've changed if we lose, because you said if we lose, Eddie out.
I never said that. I never said that.
Yes, you did.
You can go back to it.
By the way, I'll go back and I'll clip it, because you did.
That's fine. The whole thing clip. I said if we lose on how, because I know that Eddie Howe's in-game management is absolutely tank, and if he does something like that in the final and we lose it because of that, then I will say he
What
needs to be sacked.
you said if we get beat again in the
Yep.
final,
If
Eddie
he
Howe's
bottles the
got to
final
go.
once again, yeah. So because you don't remember,
No, you went on the bottle and all that after
no, no,
that, but you said
I guess you don't remember Matt Ritchie
started
coming
the
in for the final close.
conversation. If we lose if we lose this final as well, Eddie Howe's got to go.
Yeah.
Your words. I'll find it and clip it.
That's fine. You can go on. Kenny says you support a team for the passion, not trophies. There's what is it? There these are called trophy hunters. How empty in I'm not going to use that word because I don't think it's legal to use that word no more. But how empty is that statement? A glory hunting. What are you talking? Every team in the world should want to win something and strives to win something, especially if they're in our situation. We are not Sheffield United. We are not Crystal Palace. We are not, thankfully, Luton. They can't strive to win a damn thing, unfortunately for them,
Luton have won a trophy since we won a trophy.
or the championship. But
No.
back in the day. But
Luton won the FA Cup.
the point is, we are a bigger club than Luton. No matter how many times you want to argue that we are a small club, we're not a small club. We're a big club in dire need of a trophy. That's who we are. There's no trophy hunting, none of that BS. We approach every season wanting to win trophies, wanting to qualify for Europe, wanting to do all of that. And if you don't, as a fan, well, then I start questioning. I don't get into the questioning fans as some others do with international fans. But man, if you are just sitting there and you're just like don't want nothing, man, that's true. That's tough. Tough. Alessandro Minetti, I don't reward mediocrity. I agree with you. Ian CR5 by Chris. Harvey won something. Keegan and Robson didn't. Fact, not about opinions. But I mean,
Actually, it wasn't Luton. It was. I'm thinking the Swindon town.
in this situation,
I'm just thinking that David played dancing over Wembley, but that was the.
I agree that Joe Harvey, based on winning trophies, a lot of people can tell you that back in those days, you know, you can win a trophy by drinking whiskey on the sideline. But you know, I don't, you know, I think they did. I get if you say Joe Harvey, I'm not going to disagree with you. But obviously, young people are going to go towards the younger managers. That I mean, that '90s era of Newcastle is historical, man. It's just the whole
one
90s.
note.
That's fine, but it is. I mean, the whole night we haven't won anything now. So what are you talking about? You back Eddie based on what? We haven't won a damn thing. We'll see if we do. Hopefully, we do.
Keegan won note.
Between Keegan and Eddie Howe, I'm choosing Keegan. Both haven't won anything. So there you go.
You go ahead. I'm choosing Eddie.
Okay, well that's fine. That's your opinion. That's when we get into the opinion. So Christopher Hoskins says, who can Eddie Howe beat? How what? Sorry, can Eddie Howe beat Liverpool? He has never beat them in 4 seasons. I'm sorry, he can't beat them. Well, yeah. I guess you got a point.
Should have beat them twice.
But we're in the final, so what do we say now? We just put the Barons so we can get them rested. So for the Premier League,
Beat referees, VAR, and
we are serious losers in finals. Certainly are.
We certainly are.
My man here says Eddie Howe is the best manager you ever had besides Bobby Robson. James Stasher, when you yourself said if Eddie lost a certain set of games before now, Eddie should be sacked.
Correct, and he didn't. He won every one of them. Went on to win 9 on the trot.
I'm not changing my tune, man. I'd say what I said. You can watch the whole thing. I've said that if we lose it in the bad way, or if Howe loses it because of him and his tactics and his changes.
Also, it'll be his fault, not the players.
Murphy's not a right back, Trippier's not a center back. If he does that, I'm just using that example. He could have Byrne as a left back, or he could have Isak as a 10 and Wilson as a 9 and whatever. If we lose doing something crazy like that, I'm going to have an issue.
I would love to see Wilson as a 9.
I bet you do. Because you love players more than the club. I don't. I love the club over any player. So there you go. Tiger, if he loses the finale, yes, he should be sacked. The finale. Boki, Win is going to have. I would love it if we beat them in a minute. There you go. He doesn't like Kevin Keegan, although he said that was his hero growing up, but now Well, you know, he flip flops all the time.
Keegan is
Adrian
my
Pickett.
hero.
I think Howe might leave regardless of
Still
Champions
not as
League.
good a manager as what Eddie Howe is. But
Alessandro
that's
Benetti, unless we win the cup, don't marvel about Eddie because he has been a bang average as a manager. Ooh, that is right to the bone.
well, it's
Kenny,
a
why
different.
Chris got a calipero on top of his lip? Oh, I need to shave, man. I need to shave. I can't grow a beard or mustaches in my life, to be honest. But there you go. On that note, well, Eddie doesn't have a beard, so I don't know if he can beat me on that either. As far as right now, I've grown more than he has ever made public. Nayo, the system was crap, hence players had no clue. Yeah. And there we go. JJ about the pub comment there. So yeah, we got a lot of people now. You know, it's no updates on J7. The club has just been silent about was happening with him. Eddie Howe was not asked really on the last one as to what actually is happening with Joe Linton. What was his issue? We don't know. We don't know. Let me see. Ian says, "I love Keegan, but he's never got us past quarterfinal in 5 years." Exactly.
And if you're talking about bottling it, he's your bottling it man.
Yeah, he bottled the Premier League, and that's the only club in the history of the Premier League to bottle a 20-plus lead or whatever. In the history of the Premier League, the only club is Newcastle United to bottle. So that's a big criticism, to be fair. But you know, we shall see. More news, real quick though, before we finish up. By the way, as far as ticketing is concerned, Liverpool did freeze the general admission and season ticket prices for the 25-26 season. War Flags retweeting that, saying that with the 10-year deal ending, Newcastle will be benefiting from over 10,000 supporters paying 50 to 60% more for their season tickets.
Not
Hopefully,
50 to 60%.
well, that's what they're saying. But hold on, let me finish that, and then we'll talk about it. Hopefully, they follow suit to the below and don't increase beyond that. They don't need to. So, listen, if the tickets are cheap as hell, man, you're gonna have to pay for it. I mean, it is what it is.
We've got the dearest seats in the ground by the executive platinum and the corporate, and Chris's went up when the 10-year deal finished. He was on 750, so he was on 750 throughout, and his has gone up to 900 now. That was last season because ours went up last season. So it went up 150. So it went up 15. Do quick sums. You're talking 12%, not 50%.
I mean, I forgot. I had the thing actually, maybe on my phone of how much tickets are now. Or
Well, the
oh, there we go.
dearest.
We got it right here. So, like, okay, so I don't know. This is the current price list here. So, Platinum Club pay 1,163 per adult. Is that per year? I would assume.
Yeah.
Which that right there, even for Platinum, because I went through the Platinum. Is that what I went to the last time?
Yeah.
Man, you get to sit. I don't know. You had to pay for your food, don't you? I didn't. I just went to sit down. But do you have to pay for your food or what?
Yeah. That's purely. By
But
the
it
way,
does- it doesn't-
you've had to buy a platinum. You've got a £20,000 seat there right now.
Yeah, what I'm saying, I know
If you
that.
want to buy a platinum club ticket,
Yeah, no,
they're
but
changing
what
hands
I'm
now
trying to
for
say is,
20 grand.
I'm trying to, look at the price. It doesn't come with a meal or anything like that. That price.
No, that's just purely for the ticket.
So that is platinum ticket. That's 1,163.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That to me, that's cheap.
It is cheap.
To me, that's cheap for a platinum club ticket. I'll be honest with you though. I didn't see any difference sitting down there than on the opposite end. Seats are just seats. What's the difference? I mean,
Well,
nothing.
yours is padded.
Yeah, well, my ass didn't feel it, so it felt the same. Trust me. But so as far as that, I guess you can say I don't know what the difference. Now, if you told me they're I mean, yeah, you walk into the same little club lobby
No, but
thing.
you're in that section. You're on the either side of the halfway line.
Yeah, well, that section
At,
is good. Yeah, but
at
so are you, and you pay a lot less. You're on the other side.
well, I pay 200 quid less than
So because right here, which one are you?
I'm East Stand.
No, I know, but would you be
East
row
Stand
A,
upper.
bar 1892? That's what it says here.
No,
It
East
says,
Stand upper.
wait, I don't have East Stand here. I mean, let me see. Let me click on this. No, it says row A, bar 1892 wings. Row A.
They are all executive.
Oh, these are
Wing,
premium seats. Okay,
wing, they're all premium.
so you're talking about seating category 1? You probably are seating category 1 because
900.
it's 895.
That's right.
So
895.
you're seating category 1, and then that's 895. That's cheap as hell for that ticket. So if you increase that, but for 50%,
But
it'll go over.
it's not gonna. It's already been increased from because the 895 is not on the 10-year deal. That's on the current deal.
Okay, that's
So
cheap as hell.
it might go to, let's say it might go to $1,000 next season.
Well, I mean, it's cheap.
Of course
I
it's
mean,
cheap.
these are cheap. So people complain about the price. Look, man, I
No,
don't
you're
know what to
talking
tell you.
50 quid a ticket.
I don't, I
I'm
don't.
saying it's cheap. I'm saying that glibly. You know.
So I was looking around. I was looking around at Everton. I went to look around at Arsenal just
Well,
to see.
Arsenal is double.
Yeah, and it's a good amount every year. Um, don't give out Wynn's exact number, Chris, just in case someone there wants to, do something nefarious. Well, he doesn't care. He leaves his door unlocked. He does this is
Under
anything
the
will happen.
A.
Anything will happen to this guy. But yeah, I mean, those are tickets. The family area is 460. What is family area?
That's in the level 5 of the John Hall stand.
Or is that all the way?
Elise's end.
Is that nosebleed?
Just about.
So yeah, that's 460 a year.
And that's only if you accompany a child. You have to accompany a child. So you're paying 2 of those for one of them's a child, so you're paying in the family enclosure. You can only get a seat in the family enclosure if you are accompanying.
I mean,
the
I
minor.
don't see Newcastle freezing the ticket prices, man.
No, I don't see them doing that either.
I think they're gonna go up, and
We've got if we want to
and by
compete
the
in
way,
terms of revenue.
if it's not even fair to ask that though, because if it's been frozen for 10 years, I mean, what
Exactly 10 years it's been frozen.
it's been long enough, man. Come
Yeah,
on,
man. Fucking
I
hell.
don't understand that. So there you go. We'll see though what happens. We'll definitely keep an eye on it, and go from there. Um, anyways, so what a fierce debate, man! It was crazy, but
Considering we started the show by saying, well, there wasn't going to be much we could argue about
no,
today. But of
exactly.
course, you talk your usual
What
bollocks.
you
So you
wanna
have to be pulled up.
you wanna get it going, so you will be proven wrong. And we didn't put up a poll, by the way, for what you did. I did that for you because I thought about it, but I just didn't want to do it, man. I didn't want to do it to you. Anyways, so I try to go look for hospitality tickets for Wembley, man, and they're only for members. They're only for members. You know what's something interesting about?
I thought you were a member?
No, you got for Wembley.
Oh, Wembley members, you mean?
Yeah, you got to be a
Yeah.
member for Wembley to be to buy hospitality tickets. Who the fuck? Who is a member of Wembley, man? What for? What for
Well,
England?
there's literally thousands of people who are Wembley members
For what? For to watch England?
to watch England, but to watch any events that are on there,
Oh, okay.
concerts and everything.
Oh, okay. So it includes everything. Because I was about to say,
Includes
man.
everything, exactly.
Because I was about to say, just to watch England 4 times a year. Fuck that, man. And I'm sure you got to pay pretty good. Because I looked at the prices, man. They're like 7,000, to have a other different high prices, but anyways, so it's gonna be lovely. It's gonna be great, and cheers. By the way, do you know of anything like where they're gonna be watching the game outside Wembley Stadium? Not outside, but you get the point. Making
yeah, there's loads of venues. There's 2 pubs now on Wembley High Street are going to be Newcastle pubs.
Yeah.
I can't remember the names off the top of my head.
Well, I'm sure
there's going to be a couple of fan zones anyway.
We'll keep you guys engaged on that.
And that again is the difference between Newcastle fans and the rest, because there's only the official Wembley fan zones that are there for the Liverpool fans. That's ones who've got tickets. Whereas there's only Newcastle fans who'll go down to Wembley to watch the final, even though they're not going to go into the ground just to be there. That's how desperate we are.
That's right. All right then. Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate you guys joining us tonight on Fierce Debate. But it is Undisputed show, man. You know what? You know what time it is? It's the kitchen. The kitchen is lit right now. It's Hell's Kitchen, man. And so thank you. And tomorrow is 2 p.m. Whether our season is on knife edge. After. Oh, here we go. Bye, everyone.
How are you there, lad? Super Eddie. I'm your biggest fan. I'd follow you around the country, Jacob Murphy.